Hello, everybody. This is Pastor Willie, and this is the encouraging word for today. God has a time, and understanding God's timing is key for everything. There's famous verses in the book of Ecclesiastes. There's a time to laugh, a time to cry, a time to be born, a time to die. There's a time for everything under the sun. And there's a time when you have to stand your ground and fight. Fight for your principles. Fight for different things. You have to stand and fight. And there's a time when you turn away and you run, or you turn and you avoid the fight. You have to know the right time. David, as we pick up the story of King David, is in the town of Keilah. He has just delivered them from the Philistines, and now King Saul is coming to fight with David. Maybe this is the time. Maybe this is the time for the big fight, the big rumble, once and for all between David and Saul to see who is going to be the king. Maybe this is the time to resolve everything. Now, if David were like me, or if if David were like me, I like to resolve everything as soon as possible in my life. In fact, I get anxious. I don't sleep well when there are things that are unresolved. And what I have found, and what I am learning now, even at this age in my life, you can always learn something. And what I'm learning now is that sometimes it's best to wait. Sometimes it's best to let things play out a little bit, to let things settle a little. And it's important to know the right time to fight, the right time to intervene in someone's life, the right time to work on a solution for an issue or a problem. People have to be ready to hear what you have to say. They have to be ready to deal with it and receive what you have to say. So there's a time to deal with a family issue. There's a time to deal with a child, a wayward child, or a time to deal with something on a job. And there's also a time to just let it pass, So David has defeated Goliath. That was the timing of God. God raised him up at just the right time. He came at just the right time, and he fought and he destroyed the giant. God was with him, and he won that victory. Now Saul is coming. Is this the time? Listen to what David does in 1 Samuel 23, verse 13 and 14. So David and his men, about 600 in number, left Keilah and kept moving from place to place. When Saul was told that David had escaped from Keilah, he did not go there. David stayed in the wilderness strongholds and in the hills of the desert of Ziph. Day after day, God searched for him, but God did not give David into his hands. He ran from the battle. Is he a coward? Was he now suddenly afraid to fight Saul? I don't think so. He had prayed to God. He had sought the Lord, if you look at the verses earlier. And God had not said it was time for him to fight. In fact, God was delaying the inevitable battle, because the day will come where that battle will take place. But God had to continue preparing him for that battle. God had to continue preparing the people of Israel for that battle, even preparing Saul for his ultimate defeat. And many times we are not ready for a confrontation, but instead God has to do a work in us. And as a leader or as a parent, we have to pick the right time. As a parent, we have to pick the right time to speak to our children. I'm not talking about avoiding things or not dealing with something urgent. I'm talking about being strategic about when is the right time. So David runs, and he's growing spiritually. He asks God what to do, and he knows he's not ready for that confrontation yet. He's not ready for that battle yet. The day will come, but he's not ready for it yet. So the lesson we learn from David today is that in every issue we face in life, to remember the issue of timing in all we do. So I know some of you are listening to me, you're nodding your heads, maybe you're facing a confrontation, facing a situation that needs resolution, but this is helping you to step back for a second and get God's timing. So the key is to know God's timing in all we do, to know when to stand our ground and fight, and know when to run to fight another day. God has the right time, and it's up to us to discern that time in our lives. So have a great weekend. Whether you're fighting or running, have a great weekend, and I'll see you again on Monday. God bless you.